Well, it is no secret that buying a house in today's market will cost you more than ever before. The average house value today stands at $416,000. Just 1 year ago, if you were wondering, that same house would have sold for $366,000. That is nearly $50,000 more. And the rising cost is only one piece of that puzzle. Mortgage interest rates have nearly doubled since last year, and that can end up costing hundreds of thousands of dollars more. First-time home buyers can qualify for a lower down payment option. We know that, and put down as little as 3.5% instead of the standard 20%. Last year, the average down payment would have been about $12,800. Now it's almost $2,000 more, standing at $14,500. And these factors have made monthly mortgage payments jump in the past year. It was about $2,200 last year, but if you buy a house now, the payment will be $2,600. The total cost of a home with a 30-year mortgage a year ago would have been about $534,000. Now for that same house, a homeowner will end up paying $820,000. In fact, a little more than that. So what other options are there? According to Bankrate, about 79% of people aged 18 to 29 need that financial help from their parents to afford their first home. And now people are flocking to the bank of mom and dad to help them finance their American dream. NewsNation's Ryan Bass has been looking into this alternative option. And Ryan, of course, it's not an option for everyone, but if mom and dad can help, it can save a person a whole lot of money.
I mean, it certainly can. You ran through all the numbers right there of what it costs now as opposed to what it was a year ago. Look, if you're into the market for a home like one of these here behind me in East Nashville, it's not the bang for your buck that it was a year ago to get a mortgage. In fact, today, a 30-year fixed interest rate is 2% higher than it was at this time in 2021. Of course, that's a lot thanks to inflation and the Fed hikes. And as you mentioned, the cheaper option now for a lot of millennials and first-time home buyers is to go to the bank of mom and dad. I'm serious. It is now a thing in 2022 and becoming more and more common to borrow money from a family member for that mortgage rate and that mortgage loan as opposed to going the traditional bank route. This month, it's almost half the rate for that long-term intra-family loan than it is for a traditional 30-year. And a lot of folks are hitting up that parent or that uncle to try to afford that dream home, especially with rates going up and soaring rent costs. I spoke to a pair of experts, Joshua Messiah, who has spent 18 years in the mortgage business, and Bonnie Heatzig, a luxury real estate agent, who both said that borrowing from family is becoming more and more common.
Lending guidelines have gotten a little tighter. You need a little bit more money down. You need to have that assets available for you to kind of put down and still qualify. So I've seen it a lot more common in the last 2 years than ever before. I would say 1 in every 5 transactions has a gift from a family member.
When they create this intra-family mortgage, they're in a position to give them perhaps a lower interest rate than they would get on the open market, give them flexible payment terms. So it's just a way of parents using their wealth to help their children have an easier time and buy that home of their dreams.
And while you may have less hoops to jump through if you go through a family member rather than going through a bank, both Bonnie and Josh did want to warn me. Look, you want to contact a CPA or a tax professional. That way you know that the hoops you're going through and that the money you are borrowing is legitimate and follows all the rules. They did also have one other piece of advice for me, and that is to make sure you are on good ground with that family member before you go and borrow that money. Make sure, Josh said, that transparency is key and you have something established in terms of a timeline of paying that money back. Trust me, you don't want that family drama and you don't want any IOUs when you're sitting around at Thanksgiving dinner table. That's for sure.
Absolutely not, Ryan. Call your mom, call your parents, be a good kid. You may need them. Ryan, thank you so much for your report.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.